Hello everyone, good morning, and welcome back to the Perennial round of 32. We're here with a few more matches today. We've got 4 of them lined up for you. Unfortunately, 5 simultaneous matches at 15 UTC makes it a bit hard to get every match broadcast, but if we do see any that are more interesting than the one that we're doing at 15 UTC, we'll swap over to it mid-match. My name is Dio. I'm going to be taking us through all these matches alongside Demarsh for the first 2. Good morning, Demarsh.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's good afternoon for me, I suppose. But yes, good morning, Dio. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Got some lovely matches in front of us. Do you want to go through the names? I'm not really feeling up to saying Team Red today.
Sure. For our first matchup today, we have PISSINGON versus FC Orenburg. PISSINGON, a very, very solid team. The members of PISSINGON are actually all very, very well-known tournament players, so I expect the members of PISSINGON to put up a number of pretty solid scores on a lot of the maps that we have here today in round of 32. I don't think it's gonna... I don't think a lot of these maps will pose much of a challenge to the members of PISSINGON. As for FC Orenburg, of course, easier map pool than in the qualifiers, and so especially with players like Talala and Temkana on their side, I think that they have a pretty solid chance of taking some points off of Team Red in this matchup.
Yep. Right.
You asked. You asked.
I did. I'm composed. I'm fine. Yes. No. Some fairly one-sided results when you compare PISSINGON versus FC Orenburg from their qualifiers. Mostly one-sided in favor of PISSINGON, which is obviously why they're the red team here. They are the highest seed. But there are a couple of close matchups from the qualifiers that I think actually, given an easier map pool, maybe they'll perform better on. Particularly the Nomad 4 scores were actually very, very close in the previous week. Also in the qualifiers. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a battle that goes on there actually.
It will be. We are actually already onto the first pick, by the way. We've already got Hard Rock 1 picked up for FC Orenburg here. They have first pick. Our bans are already through it. We already have blue banning DT1, red banning Nomad 1. I think pretty normal bans given what happened during the qualifiers, if you want to talk about kind of how both of those teams did on certain maps throughout that stage.
Yeah, so... Nomad 1 was actually FC Orenburg's highest score in the qualifiers. They got just over 3 million team score, and is the one map out of the qualifiers that they actually outscored PISSINGON. So considering all that, and when you look at the lineups, you got Orenburg going in for that, Lefu, Arcelite, and Desuge, that's a strong Nomad 1 aim roster, so you definitely want to get that out of the way. So it's an understandable ban, very tactical ban, and I think the same with their other ban. Again, very tactical, probably one of PISSINGON's better scores in terms of how comfortable they were on it. Over 1 million difference in team score, I believe, on that one. So it was just too one-sided.
Yeah, both double times really were just completely in the favor of PISSINGON during the qualifiers if you compare their scores there. So kind of expecting them to pick into any of the other double times in Nomad 5 here, out of the gate at least. And then from there, every map is a lot closer in terms of the score difference between these two teams. So hoping to see a lot of closer maps outside of those DT maps, outside of that tapping pool, essentially. Your Nomad 2, your Nomad 5, and your remaining double times for FC Orenburg. For now, though, we are getting into Hard Rock 1. This Hard Rock 1 a little bit different from the HR1 and qualifiers. This one really focused on slider aim and overall slider aim hard rock consistency, rather than the sort of just raw aim consistency that we had in qualifiers. Qualifiers hard rock went a little bit bursty. That's true of this map as well. But one of the challenges with this map is if you're not comfortable with hard rock, being able to consistently read all of the weird slider stuff changes into 1/3 that this map does as well. So yeah, a couple of weirder things going on with this map. I'm gonna panic and oh, never mind. Oh, is it just Exarch? It may
Yeah, I
be
think
Exarch.
Exarch looks dead.
Oh,
is he?
We're client. Client. I'm just gonna hit panic. See if that fixes it. Okay, now Orenburg is dead. This is incredible.
This is next level. I'm impressed.
Why is Orenburg now simply not working?
No, he's there. He's there. I can see him playing. He is playing.
There we go.
As is Exarch, but it's doing things. Don't worry.
There we go. All right, we've got it. Let's take stock. Who has combo? We got 2 full combos left on Desk and Leffy during for FC Orenburg. Shirahayuki missing right before this slower section of the map. Unfortunately, we kind of missed the first half of the map, but Exarch, Majora, and Vivace all still holding on to FCs for pissing on.
Yeah, doing well so far. Looking to bring home a break point at this rate. Those 3 big full combos. Orenburg, they're gonna need to see a break from pissing on if they want to keep their pick, and they do see a break, but it's from Shirahayuki, not the one they wanted. I think they just dropped another full combo there, and Disuk. Is that a Q or a G in his name? I can't tell.
That is a Q.
It is a Q.
I think it's Desk or Deske. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna call them Desk. Since that's fairly simple.
Could just take the first part and just call him Desu.
Yeah. Arclight with another miss for FC Orenburg. It's just Leffy standing, and Shirahayuki still the only one to have missed for pissing on. So you've got kind of opposite team combos going on right now for either of these teams. Majora finally finding a slider break and a miss afterwards for pissing on, but there's not 500k left in the map for Leffy to try to claw back here, and this lead now well over that 500,000 score mark as Vivace finally finds a drop here at the 780k mark. Exarch still holding on to that FC for pissing on to match the score coming out of Leffy and guarantee that they take this break point in pretty dominant fashion. 3 full combos held until 3/4 of the way into the map is certainly a very solid overall team score on a map like this, which is rather tricky to be consistent on.
And it's a nice full combo as well from Leffy. Really trying to keep his team in there, but just wasn't enough. Even though we struggled to see him at the beginning, Exarch was actually full comboing, so 2 full combos, 1 on each side, but it came down to big supporting combos from Majora and Vivace that saw them through. And it's a very early break point.
And I've just received note. Apparently, it's pronounced Suke. So yeah. All right, it's Desuke.
Oh, Desuke. I thought you just said Suke, and I was like, the D and the E is silent.
No.
Okay.
We got the de at the front, but no mod 5 now picked up for pissing on. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody who was paying attention pre-match. We talked about the qualifier scores for FC Orenburg being far, far lower than the qualifier scores for PISSINGON on both double-time maps, to the order of 1.5 million score advantage for PISSINGON. So picking no mod 5 or DT2 or DT3 is, yeah, pretty well advised for Team Red in this matchup. And you look at the lineup, and it makes a lot of sense for them, right? You have players like Demi, Lifeline, Shirahayuki, Majora, who are all very, very solid on the speed. You still have players who can go in for some of the speed maps and still do well. Skilla as an example of those, Exarch as an example of those. So a lot of flexibility with the lineups on some of the speed maps for this team.
Yeah, I definitely think that FC Orenburg have got some. They've got some strong maps coming up that I think they can contest PISSINGON on, but I'm afraid I don't think this is one of them. I mean, they might find it a bit easier than the DT2 from last week, or well, there's the DT maps in general, but it's still not going to be. I still don't think they make up that deficit of what was essentially 1.5 million minimum from the qualifiers. They've got to somehow pull together.
Well, we'll see if they can do any of that. See if they can pull anything together or work a breakpoint into the plans somewhere here. This is a pretty lopsided seeding matchup, right? You have PISSINGON as seed number 6, Orenburg seed number 27. So you're not expecting Orenburg to take this win, but hoping for them to get a couple points and make the matchup a little interesting, especially going into the round of 16. You definitely want to show you are capable of at least taking a point or two against some of the higher seeded teams for the losers bracket, but let's see how it goes here. Temkana, not usually in on speed maps, actually. Very, very good player, very well-rounded player, not a speed player. So a little surprised to see Temkana in on these types of maps. I would have expected somebody else in. But frankly speaking, I think that FC Orenburg just does not have a good speed roster anyway, so it might just be Talala sort of tanking speed for the roster and doing just as well as he can on it. Handsome Me now the only full combo left up for FC Orenburg, and actually not quite full combo there. Shirahayuki and Jimmy, the only full combos left in the lobby. Handsome Me with a break right at the start, matching Majora's combo.
Yeah, the combos, while they've mostly been early breaks, they haven't been, as you see another break from Orenburg, they haven't been as bad as you might think. Early breaks can work in your favor in a way, as we see a break from Majore. But the main difference here is the accuracy. You can see, you know, Temkana, Orenburg, Handsome Me, they're all down at like 97, whereas if you jump across to the other team, almost all 99s across the board. Majora just slightly down on 98, but other than that, still holding strong, and that's where the score difference is coming from right now. As we see a break from Temkana and Desuke, and Handsome Me as well. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, with Handsome Me's combo gone, this is really well over. Desuke not going to be able to carry the combos either. Dummy does find a break, but there's still big combo on Lifeline and still a not quite full combo on Shirahayuki. Or actually, I think Shirahayuki's was full combo. It was Majori who had the reverse choke at the start of the map. And so, yeah, still a full combo for Shirahayuki, still big combo for Lifeline, and well, outscoring anybody on the side of FC Orenburg right now. Max score on their side is 275k from Handsome Me, 276k from Lifeline. Already puts both of these big combos ahead of the best score from FC Orenburg.
Yeah, and with more breaks coming in from Hansumi, that score isn't going to go anywhere. Break for Majori there. Not going to affect Pissing On too much. The two combos that would affect them at this stage is Lifeline and Shirahayuki, but there just isn't enough from FC Orenburg. You know, already in the last quarter, they're down 700k, and this is what we talked about with the qualifier scores, with these being so massive. The score difference they're going to have to make up here is just too large for them to compete with.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we expected, right? We expected a pretty easy win on this map for Pissing On, and it's just how it is. It's a matter, of course, at this point, they're just going to finish it out. We'll see if Shirahayuki finishes it out with a full combo, though. 99.5% accuracy right now for him, and looking very, very solid overall. Not bad scores at the end of the map for the members of FC Orenburg, or at least not bad combos there, cresting the 800 mark for 3 of their members, and getting a respectable team score together by the end of the map at 1.8 million. Everybody over 400k besides Temkana there at the end, but Shirahayuki with that full combo at 99.3% AC, and everybody above 600k except for Majora on this map for Pissing On means a very, very solid overall team score for Team Red, and a 2-0 start for them as well.
Yeah, I think with the way these first 2 maps have gone, Shirahayuki has been the one kind of standing out to me, getting the higher scores in this matchup. I definitely think for FC Orenburg's next map pick, I think they may want to try and get something where they maybe take Shirahayuki out of the lineup. Just because Shirahayuki just seems to be on another level right now. Could be wrong, it might not be the best move because it might put them into a map where they're not going to perform as well, but it's definitely an idea if they're not really sure what to go with. That's what I would do anyway.
Well, this is definitely not one of those maps where Shirahayuki comes out of the roster. Shirahayuki, a very solid alt player. This No Mod 3 pick, make a loser, 150 BPM. There's a lot of really weird spacing, awkward stream direction changes all over the place. Very almost random stream spacing at 150 BPM to deal with for a lot of players. Very, very tough aim control consistency map. And so when you have players like Shirahayuki on the side of Pissing On, they're definitely going to want to go in for this type of map. A couple other players on their side who would be pretty solid for it. Their qualifiers lineup was Demi, Lifeline, Shirahayuki, and Skilla. Expect similar players to come in for this one. We've also got players like Xrep would be very solid on this sort of map. I think at this stage, a lot of the members of Pissing On should be pretty solid on this type of map. This is the sort of team that this is, right? They are top 8. They're going to have flexibility for a lot of these lineups. Meanwhile, on the side of FC Orenburg, their qualifiers roster for this Talala, Suk, Temkana, and Welter. Kind of expecting the same roster from qualifiers for FC Orenburg as a lower seeded team. You're probably just putting in your 4 members who are best on this type of map and hoping for a point on this sort of map.
Yeah, and I think we can kind of, based on the qualifier results, we can see why they probably have leaned towards this map. It's one of their closer score differences, really. Everything within no mod is fairly winnable for this team, but as you started to get into the mods, there's like a map I think they might be able to get in hidden, like Hidden 1, for example, but from just comparing qualifier scores here, but definitely these no mod maps are more comfortable for Orenburg outside of like No Mod 5, for example, which was more closely related to the DT maps. But we'll have to see if Orenburg can put up something here. They're gonna need this point if they don't want to risk a 4-0 deficit going into the second bad phase.
often not the best of starts for FC Orenburg. A couple of early breaks coming out of Talala, Suk, and Welter. Early break for Majora on this map, who, alongside Jimmy, is single-tapping this. To be expected. Speed players. And both of them have broken, so clearly alternating is the superior playstyle on this map.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Yeah. I'm totally not biased. Totally haven't been full alting for 8 years or anything. Exarch and Skilla also still holding the full combos right now alongside Temk and Na on this one. Unfortunately, Talala finding another break for FC Orenburg is going to make it far easier for PISSINGON to accumulate that score lead with those double full combos. Just missing as well alongside that second break in a row from Talala. So Welter and Temk and Na kind of the backs of the score on them right now, but Skilla and Exarch, as long as they hold these two full combos, it's going to be score lead growing in the favor of PISSINGON. And well, now that Temk and Na has broken, that score lead is going to grow ever faster.
Yeah, they've got these big combos, but a lot of map left to go. Plenty of time for this to change. But they do have a very solid lead right now.
Well, it seems like Suk is maybe disconnected at this point. Oh, nope. There we go. He's back.
He has desynced.
He has completely desynced. Perhaps we restart and see how that goes for us. Let's just try it.
Yeah, let's travel into the future. Just a little bit.
It seems Future Exarch unable to hold on to the full combo. Welter's still doing work right now for FC Orenburg, but both Doomy and Skilla still have massive combos, and there goes Welter's. This is now once again going to be the break point for PISSINGON.
Yeah, no one really able to hold combo outside of Talala at this stage. And Dasuke as well. This ending quite tough to hit, really, especially if you've got a big combo coming into it. There isn't really a lot of break in this map to really reset yourself, especially in the latter half, so it's very hard to keep onto those combos, but I mean, it's a closer score margin than I think we've seen on some of these other maps, but it's still not quite enough.
No, unfortunately not for FC Orenburg. That is going to be a 4-0 start, 3-0 start, excuse me, this match. I'm not sure why we have 4-0 here on both Laser and the Cutting Edge client. Must have detected a win somewhere. I don't know exactly how that happened, but 3-0 start. With the second pick for FC Orenburg not going as planned there. And this is kind of the uphill battle that they're fighting, right? Is they are against a team that has a wider breadth of players who are on average better at the game than the players from FC Orenburg. And so it's going to be hard for them to find a lot of maps that they want to pick as successful points here. Despite Hard Rock 1 and No Mod 3 probably being good maps for them on this pool, FC Orenburg just not able to convert. And that is going to be the double time 3 pick now for PISSINGON. I'm assuming rolling 2 to decide between DT2 and DT3. Going to roll DT3. Forbidden Light here. 253 BPM? Yeah, 253, 254 BPM. AR 10.06. And just filled with bursts all over the place. Just all bursts all the time. Nothing super long and nothing super stamina draining, but a lot of consecutive bursts at that BPM is really, really tough on players who are not really speedy.
Wait, so what AR on this?
10.07 is the
Oh, it's
approach rate.
10.1. Right, okay. I swear I had 10.3 then. I was so lost.
No. AR 8.6 with double time. It's like AR 10.07 or something like that. Rounds up to 10.1, but
Yes, I think the Orenburg are going for a bit of a different DT lineup this time. I want to say.
I can't remember actually. Let me check the MP link real quick, and also put the MP link in chat for anybody who's curious. Last time around, they had the Sook, Orenburg, Hansmi, and Temkana. So Talala replacing Temkana for this map. Temkana bottom scoring the Nomon 5 pick here. And this is actually going a lot better than I think we would have expected at the start of this map for FC Orenburg. Talala does find the drop on the third full combo there, but it's still 2 FCs for Orenburg and Hansmi up against 2 FCs from Lifeline and Vivace. The difference maker now is those supporting scores. Majore on just a reverse choke 100 combo down, less than 100 combo down actually, and Dimi on 500 combo at this point. And with that break from Handsome Me, this is going to go over to Pissing On in pretty, at the end of the map, dominant fashion, but still 1 full combo to 1 at the end of it. FC for Orenburg and FC for Vivace on either side. Just those supporting scores, and you can see it in the accuracy, right? The overall comfort level for either team on this sort of map. All 97, 98, 99 for Pissing On. All 94, 95 for FC Orenburg. So despite being able to match one of those full combos, it's not going to be enough for the blue team here.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate really, because those breaks from Dasuke and Talala, when they did happen, they were so sort of in the middle of the map that you can see Talala's score just got absolutely nerfed. Whereas like the recovery combos from Dumi and Majora midway through that match were really, really good. So they had breaks early on, and that's the difference. Score v2, it's all about where you break that can make the biggest difference. And that is a classic example of that happening right there. You are right. There is a. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We are going to get our second round of bans right now. It is going to be the double time 2 ban for FC Orenburg. No surprises there, banning out the remaining speed map in the pool, and a free mod 2 ban from from Pissing On. Excuse me. Banning out another one of those aim maps, and I think that's probably a pretty solid ban choice from Pissing On. Free Mod 2 in general, one of the simpler maps in the pool, just awkward aim and relatively balanced between the mods, so I think that FC Orenburg probably would have had an okay time with that map if they were able to pick it. I'm going to go with Hard Rock 2 instead now that it's banned. The CS 6.2, 6.3 sort of precision pick in this pool. Very focused on the overall consistency in this map with a lot of stream aim baked into it, a lot of 180 BPM, not quite spaced streams in this map.
Yeah, I think with this map, I'm not. I want to say that there is some strategy behind Orenburg's pick here, but whatever their strategy is, it doesn't lie in their qualifier results. There is a clear margin of difference between the scores they put up and the scores that Pissing On put up in qualifiers. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do differently here. It's not their roster. They are keeping, I think, pretty much the exact roster that we'd expect to see on this.
Well, we'll see if they're able to take this point. Like you said, the strategy they have for pick ban is definitely not indicated by their qualifier results, so very likely just a matter of comfort on the maps and thinking that, you know, they might be able to combo through the majority of this pick before finding any breaks. You have a couple of very solid players from the previous Hard Rock pick on this map for FC Orenburg. Leffy top scoring and full comboing Hard Rock 1 earlier on in this match, and so definitely a solid member to have in for this one. Interesting to see only 2 out of 4 of those members, however, from Hard Rock 1 in for this pick, so very clearly a different type of pick for this team, but a very different type of map, right? You've got the precision factor in this map alongside a lot of the kind of weird stuff that this does regarding the stream aim and flow aim slider jumps in this map, which were not found in the Hard Rock 1 for this pool.
There's a couple of things you could say about this. You know, there's the fact that actually overall accuracy, I think, was higher on average by FC Orenburg, as we see a break there from Exarch. But also, they only had the real one player who kind of carried them through Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers. It was Majore getting the FC. So, you know, maybe they're praying if he breaks, they might have a good chance of whether they could just hold a full combo of their own. They are actually in the lead at this stage. No breaks from them at the halfway point of the map. So we're still looking for that first break from FC Orenburg, and it's going to come in the form of Welter, but Shiraha Yuki's there to break it up, drop another full combo. Also like goes for FC Orenburg. Things starting to even out in the favor of Pissing On now as Temkanar joins them as well. This is really starting to backfire as Leffy goes as well. Vache goes, Exarch goes. It's just Majore's dropped as well.
It's only Shiraha Yuki with any combo right now, but that combo is very, very small and being largely matched by Arclight on the side of FC Orenburg. Temkana and Leffy also matching the combos coming out of Exarch and Majora. There go both Arclight and Shiraha Yuki. There's still a slight score buffer in favor of FC Orenburg, and all of those hundreds dropped, all the act drops for Pissing On, bringing the score lead back in favor of FC Orenburg even further. And they're going to be able to take their first point, 136,000 score in the lead. It's not an overwhelming victory, but it is that point that they were looking for in this matchup to start them off. Down match point 4-0 for Pissing On. FC Orenburg able to take one back.
Yeah, it was a good secret map to sort of have in their pocket. I think whoever made the call on that had noticed that overall their accuracies were very good in comparison to the qualifiers, you know, between the two teams, almost identical. And it was just that one play from Majora who pulled them through. So, you know, the fact that he broke, I think, was actually huge for FC Orenburg because they were just able to match them on that one. Very, very good pick.
Absolutely a very solid one. This is actually a little bit surprising to me, I think, going for the low approach rate hidden here rather than something like the Nomad 2. I really would have expected the Nomad 2 to get picked up by them just because of how well they've done on all the other tapping maps to this point, but if some of their members are not comfortable with the flow aim on that pick, that could be a reason for them to go into this low approach rate reading pick. They have Gilla on their side right now for Pissing On, who is very, very solid at low approach rate reading. Got the highest score for them in qualifiers of 800k on that AR8 reading pick. Would expect, if they have him here, I would expect Secret Box to come in, given that he got the second best score for them. But it looks like it's going to be Exarch replacing him, and then Shiraha Yuki and Majora coming in for this. I'm surprised to see Majora in the low approach rate pick.
Yeah, kind of interesting. This one, I feel like this is one of the closer maps left up in the pool, really. Focusing on, so as to why they've necessarily chose it, I'm not sure, but we do see early trade-ups. Orenburg and Majora traded up quite evenly, but Scylla also found a break early on. So slight favor towards Orenburg there. They should pull the lead over, but they don't quite have the accuracy there to pull it over yet, but they will.
Well, right now it's all do or die for FC Orenburg. We'll see if they're able to keep the momentum alive after that last pick. Very different sort of map, this one, although both Hard Rock 2 and Hidden 2 kind of metadata tests, if you will. A test of your ability with circle size and then a test of your ability with approach rate. Orenburg finding the first major drop for FC Orenburg. Alongside Majora, it is matched. So 3 full combos for FC Orenburg to actually 2 from PISSINGON. Scylla on the reverse choke right now. Very close to an FC though, and so any score lead is marginal at best for either team at the moment. All accuracy contributing to the score lead for PISSINGON right now.
Number-wise, it's still in the favor of Orenburg, but the accuracy is just overall higher. It's a different level of comfort, which is understandable. Orenburg finds a break, though. That's not a trade-up. That greatly benefits PISSINGON right now. Question is, can they hold on to it? They'll start to build a nice lead here, though. And Kanar finds a break. Really, really bad news. If you're FC Orenburg, it's starting to fall apart in the second third of the map. We've got a third left. Will there be any change? Absolute implosion. FC Orenburg all finding breaks. It's all gone wrong. Shahayuki did drop though, so they did lose an FC, but there is nothing left. This map is over with a quarter of the map left. It's Exarch still FCs and still with a very high combo.
Yeah, and this is going to be it for this match. It is, like you said, pretty unwinnable at the moment, with Exarch still holding the FC and Scylla holding the reverse choke still from the start of the map. So, FC Orenburg will be finding their way into the losers bracket after this one. PISSINGON, as expected, moving on into the winners bracket. But credit to FC Orenburg. They were able to take that pick on Hard Rock 2, and they were pretty close on a couple of their other picks as well, right? The Hard Rock 1 was 500k in the favor of PISSINGON, but we do still have that full combo from Leffy's shout out, alongside the scores on Nomad 3, Welter, and Temkana in particular finding fairly solid scores on that map. So, not a bad match overall from FC Orenburg. Just, of course, PISSINGON with seed number 6 for a reason, right? This is why they are such a high-seeded team in the tournament. Very consistent overall, no matter what stage they are playing on.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't complete smooth sailing. That Hard Rock 2 did open up things a little bit, but again, they still had just too much of the pool. I think that was not enough of a toss-up, really, for them to really do anything. But FC Orenburg, they got that point on the board. That Hard Rock 2, it was a very, very good pick. Very impressed with that one. But it just, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't enough against the 6th seed of the tournament.